Hey guys, we're here and we have torn it down and we're looking at what is going on with the brushless 144001. Now, interestingly, looking at this spur gear, that is not the problem. The spur gear looks good. I thought originally that would be the source of all the trouble, but let me try to get in here. I probably should have done this different. There's a lot more parts to get off to get into these things, but the spur gear is good. I mean, you can see there's still plenty of depth on these teeth. The pitch is good. I mean, they're tight. So this plastic spur gear, while it seems like, you can see here, well, it seems like there would be a problem with it, it's not really much of a problem. Now, looking in here at the diff gear, to the spider gear, really looks good. That's not the problem. Those two metal gears are meshing. They are not having any problem. You can see when I turn this thing, they're going, so they're not the problem. Well, what is the problem? Well, let's go in and see. The diff is out. I probably should have cleaned it. It did come with this grease, so that's kind of cool that they greased it up. It wasn't bone dry or anything. This is metal, pretty darn resilient. Is that a screw missing? Yep, sure is. So somewhere a screw was missing. I don't know why. I never took this thing apart. But it looks like it's metal and there's no grinding of gears or anything like that. So I think the problem is definitely inside. All right, so a little better lighting here, and this is the differential cleaned up. So you can see there's no grinding on the teeth or anything like that. Everything really looks good. But when both these come together, this is definitely something happened in here. I don't know what, but my understanding is these should turn independently. But when they turn together, they should basically form one unit. Basically held it, and these two start to slip. So it's not, once you put some tension on this middle part, these two do not go forward. Let me try it again. Yep, that's the problem. All right, guys, so I've got the differential apart, and again, this gear, I don't know what the name of it is. If you know, just go ahead and put that in the comments. That gear is fine, but opening this up, I did notice that one screw was missing. I don't see it there in the anywhere near the car inside there. So they are metal, which is a good thing. But what I've noticed is these guys, whatever this gear is, this inner gear, I don't know if you can see, but they look very smoothed out, as if they were slipping. So that looks to me like what started slipping. From my vantage point, you can see they're not as sharp as these, and they definitely look a little more ground down, almost shiny, which is kind of why I was just going after it a bunch after it started acting up, just because I wanted to really break it so I could be sure that I know what broke. It's not always the right way to go, but in this case, I thought the damage was pretty limited once it started slipping. So it looks like this inner gear here got ground down. Now, I certainly could buy another one from WLtoys and, you know, maybe go through this again. But what I did was I decided to buy one from LC Racing and the actual replacement diff and the parts. So I do not know if it is the same size. I have no idea. I don't know if it's going to fit, but it is basically the EMB buggy that is very, very similar, so I'm assuming it's going to fit. I mean, I think they're near identical, at least chassis-wise, and the size of different things, like the, you know, the diff pumpkin or the diff case, I think it's going to be the same. But I think the components of the WLtoys cars, obviously, is on the cheaper side, and that's why we're seeing these issues. And the question about the tires, which is, you know, maybe it's the tires. Yeah, the tires probably put strain on this inner gear right here that to me looks a little bit ground down and shiny, and that is because of the extra traction. However, if I have the EMB gears from the EMBT, those are going to be made higher quality to withstand the additional traction and torque from these tires. So that's the deal with this. So anyway, that's what went bad. All right, guys, that's what happened. We'll be fixing it soon, and we'll get you an update as soon as the part comes in, and then we will be trying it out. But in summary, it was this little part right here that failed. Let me see. You see how it's all smoothed out there? That's all that it takes. It looks almost like someone sanded it down. That little bit of bite that was taken off as compared to this is what likely is doing it. So we'll see. We'll get the next step posted here as soon as we get the parts. Thanks for watching. And if you want to see the journey as we get this thing back on track, hit like and subscribe.